countrymen, bread eaters. Welcome back to episode 2 of Burning Bread. I'm Arthur Perkins. This is APGamingREAL. We're joined by these fantastic people for the second to last episode of Burning Bread, which is to say, next episode will be the last episode. So you better prepare yourself for some amazing movements of both bread and currency as we continue to find out just what is happening in the grand city of Merceburg. Let's check in on everyone. Now, before we check in, normally on YouTube, I would annotate the video. So there'd be a speech bubble next to my face that says skip introductions, and when you click on it, it'll skip past us talking to each other and go directly to the game. But YouTube has removed that option. If you are looking to skip our inane blathering and skip to when we pretend to be dwarves and humans, I guess some of us aren't pretending to be humans except for me. Look in the description section of YouTube at the very top. If I've done my job correctly, it should say skip introduction to this point. And if you click on it, it will jump forward. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, Lauren, how have you been this week?
Ups, downs, swirlings around. But I did have ice cream for the first time in 6 months last night.
That's a good thing to have.
And my teeth did not hurt, so I can eat ice cream again. I'm all set.
Excellent.
All clear. Yes. Hooray for expensive dental work. Woo! Yeah. But yeah, whatever. My teeth are good. So yes, so that is a positive. I can eat ice cream. I can eat ice cream and sit with my friend and gossip about the girl with the face tattoos. The whole stuff. When you're like 17, 18, and you have a word and stars that start like your forehead and come all the way down your neck, have you thought, unless you're going to be a tattoo artist or, I don't know, work in a dark room, people are going to stare at your tattoos and not necessarily connect with you. And it's just, tattoos are cool. Don't get me wrong. I love them. But it's just, you know,
So, when I was 17, I wanted to get a facial tattoo that was one of the ultraviolet inks, so it only showed up under a black light. I didn't do that. I should have done it. It would have been awesome and friggin' sweet. But even then, I was far too afraid to let someone near my face with a needle. Yeah. Let's
conquer your fears.
No. I mean, I'm here, aren't I? Yeah. Let's check in with you, Virgil. How are you doing? You have no audio at all. We cannot hear you. So what you should know is before we got started, I told Virgil he was too quiet and he was going to go mess with his sound stuff to boost his audio levels. We appear to have destroyed that. Because this is a show where we absolutely destroy everything we love.
So this should work.
Oh!
It's quiet, though,
Yeah, it
right?
is you. No, I mean, you're a little louder.
All right, I'll just keep the mic very close.
How have you been this week, Virg?
Been all right. Trying to keep busy. Just doing like yard work, cleaning up the house, and trying to exercise my fat cat, who's getting wild in the room right now. But I'm pretty ready to dwarf today.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that my audio setup for some reason isn't working. But hey, also one of my monitors wasn't working, a bunch of other stuff wasn't working, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Being disappointed is going to put you in a good mindset for being a dwarf.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! I just had an idea, but then I forgot it because I was so upset about my audio. Damn it!
Excellent. As I said on this show, we destroy everything we love. Cotton, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing okay. It's been pretty busy.
All right. Excellent. My mom had this. The doctor is like in his 50s. So for a surgeon, I'm assuming that's nearing the end of your career. I think that's reasonable to say, but maybe you're a 50-plus-year-old surgeon and you got something to say about what I just said, in which case, come at me.
Come at him, bro.
He said he's never seen a gallbladder stone this bad. It's the worst one he's ever seen in his entire life. So my mom had to have pretty serious surgery.
Wow, that's brutal.
And she's still in the hospital days later, despite the fact that when I took her, she was like, "Don't worry, I'll go home same day. You'll just drive me home." I was like, "There's absolutely no way that's gonna happen, Mom." And every day it keeps getting worse. Now her kidneys have shut down. And she's on temporary dialysis. So terrible week. It's absolutely awful.
That does sound awful.
She was
So
getting better for
Yeah.
like 5 seconds before they found out about the kidney thing.
we can send all of our positive energy.
Yeah, send your positive energy. There.
and good stuff.
All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna give you all an unasked for pro tip.
Okay.
Here is the reason why. Oops. I was looking at your tasks that you need to accomplish this week. And one of them was that your dwarf has an outstanding 4 success resource debt in order to get your deep stone.
Yeah, that's in like 4 weeks though.
It's literally the same day we start the show back up on.
Oh, that's
A week passed? You said you would pay him in a week when he was
oh,
done?
did I thought
And a
I thought
week
it was farther
passed.
than that.
No.
we'd have to bring it in 4 weeks.
Nope.
Right?
It's ready immediately.
Oh,
So, in order to
better.
prove my point, I went ahead and rolled 4 dice to show how hard it would be in order to get 4 successes, but I forgot that I'm actually fucking amazing at rolling dice. And I got 4 successes, which mathematically is what happens when you take 0.5 and you exponent to the 4th power. It's very, very low chance that you are going to succeed. It's like getting 4 heads when you flip a coin. So, I had a couple thoughts, Virgil, about how you might help yourself. The first thing is that Anya Miller cannot aid you in your resources check right now. She has 0 resources, but the good news is she has a cash die, and you all can aid her with your resources. So if she found something that was truly important for her to own and succeeded on acquiring that, her resources would bump to 1. The cash die would be gone, but her resources at 1 allows her to aid you. That's it. That's the only pro tip I have for you. You're probably going to fail the roll. Statistically, it's really bad, and
That's fine.
when you do, he's going to call you an oathbreaker because he was very clear on that. I also think he said he was going to donate the stone to a human. He was very specific about how nasty he was going to be if you failed to bring him this beautiful gem.
Ah, there it
Hey.
is. 3 fate. It's under my alias.
So, let's talk about beliefs. We're at that point where we need to make some beliefs in order to turn the wheel.
I believe I'm about to be a broke dwarf.
I mean, if you believe that, I have to challenge you on it.
No, I'm just joking.
Who wants to go first? Who's got some idea of what it is they believe?
Since we were talking about how I didn't have my dwarven one worked out, I think I'll start out because I remembered what my idea was that was stricken from the record when I was having audio issues. It's belief. My wife is my most loyal ally.
I look forward to challenging you on that. What are the rest of your beliefs?
Let's see. They were not the greatest. But Evie has the skills required but needs focusing. I mean, it's a thing I believe, but it's not for you to challenge, really. I mean, that's fine though, right?
I mean, that's for you to seek out and get. I can't help you on that one.
Right.
You're gonna have to be proactive.
Children are a blight. They should be seen and not heard, which one I didn't really like. I kind of want to maybe change it to a belief about human children specifically.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want to change children to are a blight to just human children are a blight?
no, because I think I'm like trying to make use of these kids now, but I also kind of feel like they're whiny little brats or something.
I mean, you can make a belief that says that. What were their names again?
Maybe like. No.
Let's see here. Stasi is the sorceress who you've engaged. Thomas and Sarah. Yes. No, that's right. It's Siasi is the sorceress.
Because I thought Stasi was the little kid we met at first.
It is. It's the little girl you met at the alley in the beginning. Thomas and Sarah are the employees of Dwarf Enterprises. Do you want to make a belief specifically about them?
See, something like humans don't care after their kids. So Sarah and Thomas like need an authority figure. Something like that.
All right, if you think you got it.
I don't know. I'm having trouble with beliefs in this game.
We'll work on it a little bit. While we hop over to our others. Who's got some beliefs that they want to throw up on the line?
Well, two of mine are still the same because they are unresolved.
Okay.
But my first belief has changed because I will earn Evie's friendship and not be so awkward around her.
Interesting. We'll check in with Evie at the end of this episode to see if you have in fact earned her friendship. What else you got?
Well, I can start over in a new city and be a successful baker. I'm still starting over.
Yeah, no, you're definitely starting over.
And I agreed to fight and kill for money. It was empty pursuit. Now I'll use that money to nourish and provide life. I'm still working on the nourishing and providing life. But I do have... I did nourish Thomas, but I don't think that really counts yet, but because he was really just stealing all the cream buns rather than me encouraging him to eat and be strong. So
yep, exactly.
Not there on that belief.
And I think you had an instinct that got slightly altered from last week.
Assume children are thieving little troublemakers that I must help become better mannered.
Fantastic.
So I'm not afraid of them. I'm not hating them. I still don't think a lot of them, but I know they can be better. So I can help them.
Cotton, are you holding a cat? My goodness,
I'm trying to get it off my lap.
That is a cat.
Yep.
That is a cat. Let's talk about your beliefs.
I still believe we'll win the competition, and I believe everyone is good on the inside. So the only thing that changed is I believe Anya is violent, and I will change her ways.
Fantastic. That's a good one. I think that we'll have to see how violent Anya is at the end of the episode. I feel like you'll definitely maybe earn fate for trying on that one.
I just need to collect all the fate, apparently.
Yeah. No. It's great, because when you make a roll, you can just throw it towards sixes. Virgil, I wanted to check in with you and ask about your wife.
My lovely wife.
Yeah, what can you tell me about her? What's her name?
Well, her name is Issa.
Issa.
Issa Stone. And she normally would kind of be in dwarven culture, the like head of the household, main decision maker, uh, matriarchal figure of a family. Um, but interestingly enough, was fine with my insane ideas of running out into the big wide open and making ovens up in the human lands.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so her and I are both a bit of kind of oddballs and outcasts, considering dwarven stock. Um, but she's very like carefree and jolly most of the time, unless the house is like a mess. Um, she'll get snappy. Uh, she has, like honey blonde hair, and a lovely, nicely trimmed beard. And she's actually bigger than me. She's like very dwarf-like and stocky, whereas I'm not quite as big and stocky as most dwarves.
Okay.
And we both look very young because we're only like 100 and
Only 100.
140 or whatever.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
All right. Excellent. So I think we come back with Siasi in her now wonderful looking carpenterized house that's been redone in dwarven carpentry style. And there are several laymen and clergy from the two cathedrals that it is built in between who have come out and are kind of admiring it. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's dwarf work. Oh, very good. If only she wasn't a filthy heretic. And yeah, some of them are
See,
like,
but
oh,
the
I'd love
planter,
to burn this structure, but it's just so beautiful.
yeah, the planter boxes are impeccably made. The awnings, is clean, nice.
There's a lot of
Like
golden
things,
ratio going around, like
right,
1 to
right,
1.6.
right. A lot of Fibonacci here and there.
Uh, yeah, lots of spirals.
Pascal's triangle,
Yeah,
getting pretty deep.
I mean, Rune just makes things that are good, and she's doing her best to make it look very dark and mysterious and such. But as you come for your last day of work, Rune, oh my goodness, I don't know what that was, but that was super loud.
My cat is meowing. It can't be that.
No, it was, I don't know. No one knows what it was. All right. I'm not holding anybody responsible.
I'm only chewing. I'm not doing anything else but chewing.
I'm just gonna blame Tux right off.
Yeah. All right. You come in for your last day of work, and Siasi is leading Sarah out the front door. Sarah's got like her regular clothes on, but her shirt's like unbuttoned, but she has a wrap on underneath it. And she's like holding her chest and trying to breathe, and Siasi is just like, there. Don't worry. Everything is fine now that we've conjured the evil spirits out. And then Siasi begins going on like a rant lecture to the collected clergy members about how the dark powers have allowed her to drive the evil spirits from within this girl.
Yeah. I just like nod sagely at this. Hold on, I can still hear you. I'm just gonna step 5 feet that way and feed my cat.
All right. Well, we just lost our dwarf midway through. Maybe we should go. No,
Sorry,
you good?
My cat was literally screaming.
That's what my cat does all the time.
Yeah, I'm like nodding sagely, and I'm like, clearly she knows what she's talking about. Girl looks good. She's ready for a hard day's work, aren't ya?
So she's just like, yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine. Where's my brother?
I don't know, but he doesn't have asthma. I mean, are you sure you're doing okay?
She's just like, yeah, I don't really know what that was. It just sort of came out.
What are the other clergy like? Are they like pretty irritated at this point?
Some of them are like listening appreciatively, and some of them are trying to shout down Siasi, like, heretic! We need to burn her with the ancient laws.
Like, people are hasty. There's no burning necessary here. Just a doctor doing their job, right? I mean, it's not heresy to help a little girl.
Oh my goodness. This is amazing. I would love for this to turn into a duel of wits, but I don't think we're ready for that. So what I'd like you to
I
do,
did look
Rune,
at the Duel of Wits rules once and decided, like, I hope that doesn't happen.
they're actually super cool. But yeah,
Right,
they're
but there
very
was, like,
involved.
when I looked at the chart, there was like 36 boxes involved in said chart.
Yeah, it's a bit involved. So we're gonna do what's called a bloody versus test, which is where you will roll and they will roll, and the winner wins.
The winner is the winner.
You're interjecting yourself into an argument over souls. So you're going to make a persuasion roll, which you don't have, which means you need to do a learn test, which means you get to add persuasion to your being learned list. And they're making a suasion test. And suasion is what you do. It's persuasion for priests. It's about what's in the best interest of your soul.
Is that like will?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Everything on there is correct. You ready to roll?
Okay. And let me get
So
my
you need
account.
2 successes for every one of their successes.
What?
Because you're learning.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm also right.
I mean, I think that's what we let the dice decide, my friend. So they have 5 dice to throw at
Can I
this.
fork haggling because it's like arguing?
Unfortunately, you can't fork
In a,
during being learned.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, you're decimated. They got 4 successes on 5 dice. You wouldn't, yeah, I mean, you get to still roll, but
So I can put base obstacle 5. No.
you would put base obstacle 4. Yeah. And it'll double it to 8. Yeah, no. So
but she's a little girl.
some of those lay priests who hadn't actually jumped in on either side of the argument were listening to you for a moment to like figure out, oh, this will be interesting. And then you jump in and they're like, no, this is wrong. This is totally wrong.
I'm just like, well, think about when you've got like an egg and you're boiling it and you let it go for too long. No, wait, hold on. Think of like a
The
rock
priests are just
rolling
shouting you down now. They're just like, you wouldn't understand, dwarf. Your people don't have faith. You don't have gods.
Like, but when you're in the nice dark cave, no, let me start over.
They continue to shout you down. It's literally any Senate scene from Star Wars at this point. There's a lot of people raising their arms like this for some reason.
That helps. Yeah, the argument of their chosen.
Yes, Siasi is looking very annoyed. And she just kind of pushes Sarah towards you and says, "You better get out of here, Rune." And she's again, this is the 13-year-old girl, but she's once more looking very adult as she's like, "I might have to deal with this using the dark power." And she like holds up a bag of herbs and smoke begins pouring out of it.
Like,
it's very alarming.
Yeah, I'm gonna like grab Sarah and like be like, all right, time to leave right now. Let's go.
Excellent. Where are you headed to?
And we're gonna head back to Evie's place.
Evie's house. I'm curious, Evie. I want to know what your house looks like now that you have a young boy and a roommate that now live at your house that you once lived in alone.
Did she just like move in?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wouldn't.
okay.
I wouldn't presume to move in.
Oh.
I would might camp in the garden, but I wouldn't move into the house, not without being asked.
Well, then let me ask, what have you done with Thomas as far as living arrangements go, since you literally took him from his home and brought him here?
I gave him my bed, so I'm sleeping on the
Oh
couch with a
my
little blanket.
goodness! You're so amazing!
Oh.
What a good Samaritan. They literally, it's gonna be like, if the show were to continue, they instead of Mother Teresa, they'd be like, Evie, save us, Saint Evie. No, all right. Yeah, let's talk about where exactly Anya is then. Anya.
However you say it, that's fine. I would find a nice place in the garden that's clear. I'd set up a little mercenary style campfire. Put all the stones, have a bucket of water handy, everything done, and just like sleep under a tree. If I'm not invited to stay, I'm not going to stay.
Well, after the first night, I come out and see there's a camp in my yard. I invite you to stay in the house.
Okay. I can happily sleep on the floor. I can sleep anywhere. I've slept in the worst conditions. Sleeping on the floor of a house is
Are you explaining that as she's leading you into the guest room?
No.
I would love that if that
I
was
would
happening.
love it too.
Okay, I could say, that's very gracious. I don't mind camping out outside. It's always wonderful. The stars at night, your garden is beautiful. The sense of all the flowers when they start to open in the morning, when the sun's up and you wake up. But
The smell of
if
the flowers
if
when I
you'll
crush them with all my camping gear.
That's exactly what I'm worried about, but not saying anything about it. I'm just like, here's a nice room for you.
Oh well, thank you. I will only stay as long as needed until I get my own place settled.
Okay.
And I will repay you for this. Absolutely. So thank you.
All right.
Okay, so
Excellent.
I bring all my personal items and things like everything fits on me. Bags, packs, pouches, satchels. So I'm pretty used to having to travel. So I just kind of tuck it all into a corner. Doesn't take up much space and
All
try
right.
to be unassuming. But all I want to do is bake until I can bake no more.
I feel like maybe you all are making breakfast and Rune comes in and it's like cheers for a moment where everyone's like, Rune!
Everybody knows Rune's name.
Thomas and Sarah reunite and they're both like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, Thomas is worried about Sarah because she was taken away by an evil sorceress. Sarah's worried about Thomas because he appears to have been domesticated.
He has a collar now, or
I mean, he's living here instead of in the Dust District.
right.
She's just like, can we trust these people? And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're okay. And he's like hugging her, and she's like, oh my god, my chest.
Hello, Sarah. Would you like a blueberry scone?
She looks at you very suspiciously and says, yes, I would. What is it going to cost me?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Here you go.
She
Nice, hand it to her.
moves extremely suspiciously towards you to take the scone.
I'm like, just take it. I mean, she bakes so much, it'll just go stale and we'll have to throw it out if you don't need it.
Oh, when you say that, she still looks suspiciously, but then she like, not like delicate ladybite. She just
Like,
devours it and then is looking for more of
Oh,
those
then-
scones because you
then
indicated
why?
that they would go stale. And she's like,
Well-
well, I'd hate for them to go stale.
I imagine that was just a little like wedge out of like a whole scone round.
Are you hungry?
Oh, I made a dozen individual round small ones. Very proper British style.
Mm.
She begins devouring them at high speed.
Oh.
And Thomas is just like, slow down, slow down. He's like patting her on the back, and she's like, ah, that hurts so much. It's really bad.
Oh, Sarah, no, you should slow down. You'll choke, and then we have to bring you back to the sorceress. And I don't think you want.
Oh, when you say take her back to the sorcerer, she's just like, no, no.
Then slow down. Don't be so troublesome. There's plenty. Took Thomas a while to get this, but to understand, I like to bake, and Evie is an amazing chef. And I think that we'll all be able to create some great things, and you won't have to worry about going hungry. Thomas will explain it, won't you, Thomas?
Thomas is about to explain it when there's a knock on the door.
I'll get it. I go and get the door. Hello?
It's your wife, Issa. She's standing
Issa!
there, and she can see Thomas and Sarah and Evie and Anya behind you, and everybody's like having a family breakfast.
I'm like,
And
come inside, have a scone.
She's just like immediately loses her shit. She says, Rune, I didn't believe it when I heard it, but now I can't even believe it, and I see it with my eyes. How could you leave me for these human hussies? I heard you had children with them.
They don't grow that fast. Look, I mean,
I don't know any. What am I supposed to know about human children? They're just annoying and stupid and slow and
I
dirty.
step outside and I'm like trying to like close the door and I'm like,
No, she stands in your way. She's larger than you. She just stands in the hobbit hole way, and she's like, when I heard from Dredge Ironpick that you were running around with young girls throwing around jewelry, I thought to myself, this is a man I thought was going out to be the best oven crafter in the world, and here he is making deals with the devil, with Dredge Ironpick, and running around with little human girls. You are going to explain yourself right now, mister. She grabs you by your ear and
like,
shakes it.
So what you think? Because it's very easily explainable. The gems, I'm just trading them for goods. I need to build me oven, and they're just bakers, honey. I mean, the best I could find, bakers. Can you believe it?
Just bakers. You think I'm 114 years old? You think I haven't heard that excuse before?
Wait a second. Just bakers? We're some of the best bakers you'll ever find. Don't say just.
I'm gonna like back up and try to get myself completely out of this situation.
But you carry on. We didn't interrupt. Sorry.
I'm like, Evie, she's a famous chef. Evie, come tell her. You're famous, all right? You wouldn't go for some lowly dwarf like me.
She's just like, oh, so now when you're hiring prostitutes, you get the very best of you. You're married.
She does like some kind of show for like
wow.
people.
Nope, this is going so poorly for you. I love how you're digging yourself deeper into this hole. Your wife, Issa, is going apocalyptic right now.
Like, look, the children aren't really mine. It's just
the children are gone.
Parents.
Unlike Evie, they've actually disappeared. You called Evie out, and now Issa's focus is directly on her. The kids are just... There are like dust shadows where the kids used to be that just dissipate.
Like, they're just day laborers at the end. I mean, they're just going to be carrying brick around. Look, it's nothing to be worried about. They're all going to be staying here, right, Evie? Right? And I'm going to be coming home in time for dinner.
Our home's almost a week away from here.
Is it?
Yeah, I feel like you traveled a while to get out of the dwarf kingdoms.
Oh, I thought
Is
we
it?
would.
No, you could tell me something else if you.
No, because
is there like a dwarf settlement near here that they live underground in? Actually, that would make sense because Dredge probably doesn't live with humans.
Yeah. So there's like they're basically merchant dwarves, right?
All right. Well, I have really bad news for you, buddy. You need to make a persuasion check to convince your wife about all of this.
I mean, it's viable.
Okay, so your wife has a will of 4, so you need to beat a 4 difficulty with 4 dice. And that 4 is doubled to 8. Maybe your friends want to help you out a little bit in explaining this? I don't know.
I don't
Sure,
have persuasion.
Do you have a social skill of any kind that you can help to explain this?
I can sing.
I mean,
That's it.
if you want to sing-splain, it's
I
like
mean, also, I
mansplaining,
did
but
say that
Disney
you were-
style.
I did say that you were a performer. If you can perform well, that would lend credence to my story.
I will allow it in this very extenuating circumstance. If
I
you,
try to like sing and like show up what I normally do. Cook sing.
oh, you're gonna give her like the full court performance.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm definitely not with your husband. Look, I'm a celebrity chef.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
You Mario Batali, you're like, bam. I think that might be Emerald.
Were there any of the blueberry scones left?
Yes.
I offer one to her before. Care for a
She
blueberry
will
scone.
simply accept it, like very graciously. She'll be in the middle of a rant. She'll be like, "Oh, thank you," and then turn on you with the full force of her like misery and doubt, just like, "And who do you think you are? Just coming over here. You know, this scone is delicious, and your manners are fantastic, but you can't just be going around sleeping with another man's husband,
I've
staying
not-
under the same roof together."
I was sleeping, camping outside. I'm not under anyone's roof.
My goodness, you don't even have a place to stay. Is this
Oh,
how
I'm-
far you've fallen, Rune? Is this the kind of women you associate yourself with?
They're business associates.
I'll just let you two chat for a little bit. I'm gonna go back to doing some nice baking.
All right, it doesn't sound like she's going to help you on this one, Rune. If you'd like to accept Evie's help, you will get a bonus die.
I tried to help. She
It
didn't.
doesn't
She
matter.
likes my
because it's
scone. That's all I can do.
persuasion, right?
Actually, do you have etiquette? I think you do.
I have etiquette of one.
Yeah,
so-
if you want to help with etiquette, I feel like that's a solid copy.
Okay, then I can do that. I'm just gonna continue to be polite and use my etiquette. Treat her like a noble woman and just.
Well, Evie, you get a challenging sing, and you get a challenging etiquette, Anya, which does nothing for you because you both need routine tests. So Rune, you got 5 dice to throw at this. Do you have any persuasion? I'm sorry, persona?
No.
Well, then you're doomed. Probably.
Yeah. So,
You
so
could
it's
roll a bunch of 6s. It's
a,
possible.
it's a persuasion.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
persuasion.
So I have to get 8.
Yes, just put the difficulty in as 4, and it'll double.
Modifiers.
It
1.
is remotely possible if you get some 6s and then use some fate.
Or at the 0. Nope.
Nope. No.
Can't,
Your wife just starts screaming that you're an oath breaker. You're breaking our oath. And if you don't come back with me right now to Dwarfland, I'm gonna divorce you and take your house.
I've got shipments of stone. I've got business to attend to. You know that there's not long till the competition starts.
Competition? What competition?
I told you we're gonna be rich and famous at this baking competition. The Lord's lost his whole kitchen staff. All of the best in the whole area are gonna be competing, and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be the most famous oven builder in the entire world, and you'll be my loyal, lovely wife. And these women will finally be able to find men because they'll have a title of worth.
Oh
You know, I'm
my
trying to change my ways, but I think that hey, where's that knife on my belt? No.
Do you actually say that?
No.
Oh,
don't.
I was gonna
You can see
say,
my hand- you
Issa
can
would
see my-
probably be about that.
Yeah,
you could see my hand kind of just fidgeting towards like nope, and I'm trying to change my ways. That is one of my things.
Issa probably has like a crossbow or something.
Issa says, well then, you won't mind if I stay around? You know, to make sure nothing's going on here.
Certainly not. I mean, look,
Well, it is.
This is a packed house, but I mean, we certainly can make an expansion.
Well,
Evie, what do you think if we took out your cleaning closet and went down about 15, 20, 30, 45 feet, maybe 50? About 40 more down.
Issa pulls out some papers for she just has paperwork for random mining tunnels, and she's like, well, we could do something like this right
Like,
here.
Most of these bracing should be replaced.
I mean, it is the top of a hill. She really should be utilizing all the land that she's working on top of.
A lot of underground potential I'm seeing.
Yeah, just knock the entire 3 walls out so it's outside of the house, and then create like an underkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, right here.
That's
Alright.
all. That's all wonderful.
Thomas, Sarah, do you want to share a room or have your own rooms?
Oh,
So Issa's
Well,
looking at Evie.
I'm like pointing at the paper, like maybe here or here.
Issa's looking at Evie like, I don't trust you, but if I get to live here, I can keep an eye on you.
I look at her like, I'm terrified. I'll do whatever you say.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. She just it says I'll be by in a few hours with some fellow dwarves to begin knocking down some walls and start the excavation process. We'll make your house 2-3 times as big as it is now.
I would have offered to go and rent a room elsewhere so they could have had the guest room. It would have been fine, but
Oh, we got the kids.
Oh, when you say that, Issa's like, oh no, I want you to stay right here where I can keep an eye on you, lass.
Like, yeah, we'll need all the, spend a lot of time moving all the dirt out of here, so we can't have you, laying about at some tavern. All right, kids.
well, there are other things to do as well. Don't we have to prepare for this competition? I really should go out and I mean I have some coins saved up. I can go looking for some of the best flour that we can use for part of our recipes. I could go off and do that right now. And if anyone wants to come and help me,
You know what? I realized I should probably also go with you right now.
yes, we will come back. We will stay here, but I think that we need to get started, and I really want to go and source out some really good quality flour.
Right.
And I'm taking that's me using the pro tip advice from earlier.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. Yeah.
Get my resource points so then I can. Yes, we're trying to translate all that.
I see it happening.
Yeah.
You and Evie are going on a shopping trip?
All right.
Yes.
And bring back 2 shovels and 2 picks and an extra wheelbarrow. The kids need tools. We'll have.
Well, we could use the wheelbarrow to bring back the flour. We'll need that. Should we take the children with us as well?
I mean, Thomas immediately agrees to go with you, and Sarah wants to stay with Rune.
All right.
But they technically work for Rune, so I guess, and live with Evie. So you let me know what you want them to do, and they'll probably do it.
So I go ahead and nod for Tom to go off with them, and I'm like, all right, Sarah, I'm gonna teach you how to read engineering diagrams. Now come over here.
So Sarah's just like, well, maybe you should start with teaching me how to read.
All right.
She's looking over it and she's like, is this dwarfish?
Oh, you probably aren't used to dwarven numbers or measurement scale.
Is this 6 or 10? I can't tell.
Well, it's actually contextual in dwarven, whether it's 6 or...
It changes depending on the number in front of it.
Yeah. With this preceding 4, it's a 6.
Wow, Virgil.
Once you get used to it.
I feel like you've established the dwarfs in this universe are just insane. Okay, yeah, great, excellent. This is the best. I want to follow the day trippers real quick with the camera. What kind of market do you guys go for looking for goods? I mean, it sounds like you're looking for a wheelbarrow, but also for flour?
Well, yes, flour. We need good quality flour. So not just any market, because we don't need just like a little sack's worth for a day or two. We need flour. A lot.
Okay.
We need a wheelbarrows full of sacks of flour.
Okay.
So we want to go to, is there a mill? Is there...
Oh
Well,
yes,
first
no, several mills. It's a
Oh,
fairly large sized town.
okay. Well,
Got
first thing,
thousands.
we'll need to find a cooper or someone, a carpenter who could make a wheelbarrow. And then we will need the tools that we've been requested to bring. And then we will head off to one of the mills. So we have 3 stops. It gets complicated.
It does. It does. I feel like a wheelbarrow is probably going to be an obstacle to your resources test just by itself.
Okay.
Because
He
there's a
asked-
lot
the
of
dwarf
metal
asked-
involved.
The dwarf asked for it.
I know. Yeah, it's not that hard in the marketplace to find someone selling ready-made wheelbarrows.
Okay.
And it's a rather stout young lad who's he looks like he might be an actual barrel. It's just round with his arms over his barrel chest and is just like, I see you looking at my wheelbarrows. The name's Barrels Wheelbarrows. My father was a barrel maker. My grandfather was a barrel maker. And I make wheelbarrows. It's like a barrel, but for stuff.
It's a very
Oh.
nice wheelbarrows.
Yes. I give it a, I'm nodding as I'm like shaking it, and it's like, oh, that should be able to.
My grandfather always said a wheelbarrow was most useful when it was empty.
Well, for us, it'll be most useful when it's full, unfortunately.
But then you can't put anything in it.
Well, we could purchase this from you, or you could spout wisdom and we could peruse around and say we were just looking. But I have a feeling.
he's just staring at you like, okay, where's the money?
Well, I just need to give it a test. Thomas, could you hop into the barrel, please?
Yeah, Thomas.
And then I try to, and I'm gonna push him around.
Thomas
So
hops in the barrel.
And I lift and I go to try and move it and see what happens.
Barrow is just like, you think maybe next time you might ask permission before you do that?
Oh, have you never heard of the wisdom that my great grandfather used to say? The customer is always right. And so I try to.
So he stops and is just like, that saying has been greatly misappropriated. The customer is always right originally referred to the fact that if you wanted to stock green shoes, but everyone wanted to buy black shoes, you should buy black shoes to put on your stasis or your displays, because the customer is going to buy black shoes, not green shoes. It doesn't mean that the customer is right. It means that what the customer wants to buy is what they're going to buy.
Oh, well. I take a quick glance around. Are there any other places to buy wheelbarrows around here?
There are a couple, yeah. And he just mansplain-wise to you, so.
So, well, I think we'll have to look around. My apologies for.
No, before you go, he's like, no. I'll offer you a deal on that one.
Did it seem to handle well when Thomas jumped in?
It did, but he's like, I can't sell it now that it's had a dirty orphan inside of it. Who knows what diseases those children have?
Oh, he's just fine. He's been well fed and cared for.
Oh, well, then you can pay full price.
Thomas sneeze on the wheelbarrow. No, I think we'll just look somewhere else then.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you go to walk away.
He's rude. I will walk away.
Okay.
Come on, Thomas. Evelyn, let's I think there's a nice looking one over there that has a nice scoop lip on it. I think that one would be much better.
I'm like super confused on what happened as I follow Anya out of here.
Talked yourself out of a discount is what happened.
I know, I'm just like, what?
Well, he was very rude anyway. We want to make friends with the people who provide us with supplies. Good connections, not deal with rude people named Barrel McBarrel or whatever it was.
I think he seemed nice.
Well,
He was gonna give us a discount.
Well,
So
does he call after us as we are
no,
making the phone
no, he called after you once already. He's not going to do
Okay.
it again. He's
Then
a
too
proud
bad.
man. If you're specifically looking to make friends, I'm curious if you want to use circles to tell me that you know someone selling wheelbarrows, or whether you want me to have another person you can encounter.
I've only been here a week. I don't have any friends.
So I mean, with circles, you can be like, oh, there's that person I know from another city.
No. Okay.
I mean, you already used it last week to be like, I know that guy down the road coming
Oh
at
yeah,
me.
but he was he was missing a foot, soldier. Yeah, that. Okay. Circles.
Yeah. Why don't you
Well,
tell me what you're looking for when you're looking for a wheelbarrow merchant?
I'm looking for someone who will understand that we need a way to transport flour, and will be like, oh yeah, like who will recognize that we're more than just buying a wheelbarrow, but that we're using it for the competition, and might say some, spread someone with connections, someone who has maybe a little bit more appeal.
So you're looking for someone who you could name drop afterwards and be like, yeah, we were using Ansel's wheelbarrows, and everyone would be like, oh,
Yeah.
Ansel's wheelbarrows. I've
Yes,
heard
and
of
then
them.
could say, "Oh, those are the contest winners. Oh, yes, they're going to win the contest. They're great. So we can have a
You
mutual."
guys all get jumpsuits that say sponsored by Ansel's.
Sure, sponsorship is very important. You add trophies to your banner.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give you a 1 difficulty on the circles test.
Okay.
You want to ask anybody for help?
I'll help.
Evelyn, you want to help? Okay. Yes. Yay! Thank you for helping. I'm not asking Thomas for help. No.
Thomas has the circles that's quite low. Yes.
Mhm.
And I don't believe you guys share a life pass anyway.
Mm.
So you may add 1 difficulty. I'm sorry, you may add 1 die to this.
Okay. Modifiers 1. Base obstacle 1.
Yep. Well, that looks like a success.
Yay!
Indeed it is. So here's my question. You got a 6 on this. You can spend a fate.
Okay.
In doing so, you'll start building fate towards circles. And the more Artha, that's the fate persona Ds that you spend towards something, the more important it is to your character, and it also helps level it up later. It allows you to do something called gray shifting. Gray
Ooh.
shading, sorry.
Yes, I know about gray shading a little bit.
Yep.
So, okay,
Uh,
yes, I would love to spend 1.
Okay, so you put a 1 into the fate column next to circles, and you take 1 out of your Artha, and then you just roll 1d6 with an exclamation point, and we'll see if you can get another success.
Okay.
If a 6 comes up again, we'll keep re-rolling until we stop getting 6s.
So it's a slash roll 1d6
Exclamation. Yep, exclamation means it's open-ended. Okay, you have 2 successes. For you, Evelyn, this was a routine test. And for you, Anya, you get to decide whether it's a routine or a challenging. But since you already have a challenging, I would suggest you make it a routine, and I think your circles will immediately bump up to 2.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. You got everything you need. You can move your circles up to 2 and then clear the.
And then I've reduced my fate under Artha down to 2 because I moved 1 up.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, you've leveled up your circles. You're better at knowing
Great.
people.
Excellent.
Tell me the name of this person that you know who is a wheelbarrow merchant.
Why? Maybe his name should be Ansel.
Ansel. Okay.
Yes. His name is Ansel. His family is known for carpentry. He has an uncle who built some wagons for Lord William. And so I know that I can trust that this is going to be sturdy, because we rode around in those wagons on campaign for 2 years, and they held out. They barely needed any maintenance, let alone a repair. So you're Ansel, yes, you're.
So yeah, you approach Ansel's lot. It's called Ansel's Very Trustworthy Wagons and Wheelbarrows. But way more importantly, it's got the seal of the king on it. His family is merchants of such regard that they have king stamped goods. So everything they make is considered to be good enough that the nobility might buy it. You're a bit low class to be browsing the lot, but Ansel recognizes you and is like, "Ah, what's her name?"
Probably seeing like
I
red.
remember you. You cleaned my laundry.
Oh yes, yes. Hello, Ansel.
I never had better underwear than before I met my wife.
Well, was page to Lord William. We were, we all worked pretty hard.
Yes, William.
He
Yes, yeah.
instilled a sense of family in all of us, and it didn't matter who you were, you all deserved clean undergarments. Yes.
Yes, and good food too.
Well,
He
my
slaps you heartily on the back and is like, "I got out of William's army shortly after you did, but the pay was fantastic. Got to set up my own branch of the family business here."
he's dead now.
Oh,
Oh yes,
no, I didn't. I didn't care for the man. He was a brute and a savage, but
he did enjoy his fighting a little bit more than his thinking, I think.
don't all the nobility?
Oh, they do. They do. Such a shame. But yes, Ansel. This is my wonderful friend Chef Evelyn, and
He's like, "My goodness, the tea maker. I heard you never left your home."
Well, we needed to get a wheelbarrow, and it seemed like a really good time to leave my house.
He looks confused at you.
oh well, there. She is, one of the most famous chefs around, and
Yes, I've heard that.
yes, and you no doubt have heard of the competition coming up.
I have.
And one of the things that we will need to do, of course, is gather ingredients and test and sample and see what we could come up with as an entry. And we do need a wheelbarrow to be able to cart all of these things around.
Well, then it's a good thing I own a wheelbarrow store.
oh, oh, always a funny man, Ansel. Oh. So, what we would like to do then is we will need a wheelbarrow. Our young apprentice here is going to help us, and we're going to head off to the mills and check over the quality flours and get something so that we can start some baking and cooking and testing and experimenting.
He
I mean,
looks over your clothing, Anya, and it's very clear he doesn't expect you to be able to pay for this. And turns to Evie instead and is like, "Well, let's talk pricing."
All right. How much do they normally cost?
So he walks you through pricing. A small cart is an ob 3. So a wheelbarrow is ob 2, which is what you'd pay for to go on a ship journey. Or if you were a noble servant, which you kind of are. Basically, it's like a month's wages for you to buy one of these master-crafted wheelbarrows.
All right.
Yeah, do you look at him weird?
A little bit. I'm like thinking it over. It's a lot of money.
well, we just need something simple for several large sacks of flours. We're not going very far, of course, since the competition is here.
Oh, he starts dissembling. He's like, "Well, all of my wheelbarrows contain only the best metals, you know. Not dwarf work stuff, but it's real high quality steel." He like taps on it. Yep.
So I have a game question.
Yep.
How does this cash die work?
So what
Do I
you'll need to
spend
do
it once?
what you'll need to do is you'll need to make a resources test. Your cash die can go towards it.
Okay.
And that'll give you 1 die to use.
Okay. So once I use it, it's gone.
Yes.
So I either buy the wheelbarrow or I buy the flour.
And
Nah.
the thing about resources tests is you have to succeed on them in order to advance. So if you use your cash die and fail, it's not good for you.
Wait, will she have any resources rolls to be able to be made if he fails it?
She'll be taxed at 0, which is really bad. I mean, she Resources 0 means that she like doesn't have shoes and doesn't have a place to live and can barely afford to eat on a regular basis.
Oh dear.
Evie, she literally, I mean, unless she rolls a 6, she's gonna need some help on this.
I will help.
I see. Uh,
Um, a question, and I directed at Evie, but you're gonna have to help here. So how much, whenever you're cooking, and how much do different ingredients cost around here? I'm assuming less than a supremely crafted wheelbarrow.
so food for a day is an obstacle 1, and like a sumptuous, like a noble's banquet cost 2. Is an op 2, sorry.
It's cheaper than the wheelbarrow. Yeah, I nod.
Okay. Oh, I'm just wondering if maybe we should just each carry something and forget the wheelbarrow for now. I mean, the main reason was just for us to get out of the house while Rune and his wife are squabbling.
Oh, I know.
Maybe we don't actually need the wheelbarrow just yet. Maybe
So
we should.
when he hears you pulling away from the deal, Ansel's like, now listen, we go back, and I'll cut you a deal. You can pay half up front, and then if you succeed on winning this challenge, you seem real set on it, and if you've got Evie, the famous chef, behind you, I think you stand a chance. If you succeed, you pay me the other half.
What if we fail?
Well, we'll talk.
It's gambling. You know, he's gonna throw the dice.
Well, I believe we'll win. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Well, that reduces it to an ob 1. You have 2 dice towards this. You can also throw a persona towards this, Anya.
This is like when you're not sure if you have enough money on your like debit card.
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
forget it.
I did that in college. Yeah.
Okay, so what am I clicking here?
You click the resources button. You're
Okay.
gonna write that you have 2 bonus die, 1 from your cash and 1 from Evelyn's help,
Okay, to submit.
and then 1 difficulty.
Base of 1.
Uh-oh. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm
Oh
forced.
no, it didn't roll anything. It didn't roll
Oh.
anything.
You're incapacitated?
Yeah, no, it's
What?
let's look at the roll here. You got a 4 and a 5 on my
Oh,
screen.
okay.
She was
So-
so shocked by the roll, she just let it pass
Here,
out.
the problem with it is if you have a 0 in a stat, you can't roll it. But it's
Oh, okay.
resources is one where you can get a bonus to it. So I have great news for you. Your resources
Okay.
score is now 1.
Hooray.
And Evelyn, you just got a routine challenge in resources, which means your resources is now 2.
Yay!
So this worked out great for you all. You've established deeper lines of credit. You're very resourceful. It's not like resources is very abstract, as you can tell. Like the price of a wheelbarrow and the price of a meal are roughly equivalent. Yeah. So let me write down here, and you should probably make a note yourself that you have paid for half of a wheelbarrow.
Okay. 1/2.
And he gets you a very nice one that has a tin plate with Ansel written on both sides, like Ansel on one side, Ansel on the other. And he's just like, my finest, I made it myself.
It's wonderful, Ansel. It's gorgeous. And we'll make sure, when we win, we will definitely thank you for helping in our endeavors.
He does that thing where he's like, oh, that's very gracious of you. But secretly, he's going like, yeah, of course you're going to, lady. With the deal I'm giving you.
Oh, absolutely, of course. Without you giving us this deal, we would be a little difficult. We'd be hard pressed to assemble all of this. We can't move ingredients, so we will definitely thank you. You know that we will. We will make sure everybody will win. Mm-hmm.
All right, you've acquired 1 wheelbarrow.
Excellent.
Yay.
All right. Well, now we need some flour, and I actually have a resource die to go get some. Is that how it works?
Yeah, yeah.
Woohoo!
You said you were looking for the finest flour in the city?
Well, I'm gonna go to the mills. Well, while we're experimenting, we just want a good quality.
Oh, you just because I was gonna say that Evie has access to the like noble flour, the like king's grade flour. If you
Ooh.
wanted to get the real good stuff from the stocks.
Oh, that would be like the whitest, purest, priested.
I don't know about did they bleach flour back then? I would have thought it'd be
No,
like
but
whole grain.
it'll be the way it works is that as it's ground, they will actually. The reason why it's the high quality is because someone's going to spend the time picking out all of the darker bits and the coarser bits and making it fine. So it's not necessarily white, but they still called it white bread, and the whitest of bread was for the richest of people because they took out anything and they reground it and they made it as fine as possible. So it turned out that the bread was fairly pale, and they just call it white, even though it's not as white
Fantastic.
as modern white bread.
Look
So,
at
but
this.
yeah,
Science.
I know stuff.
You tell me what grade of grain you want. If you're just looking for good stuff, you can find it in the market fairly easily.
So, Evelyn, what would you like to use for flour for baking? I mean, if we're building an oven, we're gonna have to bake in it.
Do I know how expensive the like king flour?
The king flour, if you wanted a whole wheelbarrow full of it, is going to be up to.
I was gonna say, I know we can get some really, really nice flour, but it's pretty expensive.
Well, if this oven is as good as Rune says it's going to be, and if we need to do a good job of convincing his wife that
As
she can
expensive
go-
as the wheelbarrow, and I've got the wheelbarrow.
well, we have the wheelbarrow, and I'll help where I can to pay for the flour, of course. I mean, things have definitely spiraled out of control at your home. So whatever I can do to help now, I'm going to do. I mean, I feel horrible. I would sleep in the garden gladly if it helped out.
I just stop and quietly think about them tearing apart my home for a minute, and then I just kind of nod with you.
But if we convince her, maybe she'll go away, and then we don't have to worry about all of it. So let's go and get the best flour. Maybe we can bribe her with some a wonderful meal.
Can you afford the best flour, or are you wanting me to buy it?
I can't on my own, but I would help you to purchase the flour.
It's still expensive for me.
Well, we could just use good quality flour, find the best quality in the market, perhaps, and just go with that for now, and save up for the king's flour for the competition.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so let's peruse the market for some good quality flour.
So, something happens while you're going to the market. While Evie is talking to the flour merchant and negotiating prices and amounts, Thomas has stolen a knife, and he's kind of belted it in the same way that you do, Anya, and is trying to act like you. He's just like, scowling and occasionally like pulling the knife out and being like, yeah.
Thomas,
He just
Thomas,
suddenly has a fucking knife.
Thomas.
No, I mean he's very clearly stolen it. Like it's not his knife. It's way too good to be his knife.
Thomas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh?
Thomas, you have a very nice knife there. Where did it come from?
It's mine.
I haven't seen it in an entire week. I have seen everything that you brought from your former rundown home, and now that you have this chance at a better life, have you stolen that? Have you?
I'm curious. Could he convince you? Is it possible that he could talk you into a situation where you might believe him?
No, I would.
Okay. All right. I just want to see if I needed to roll anything.
One, if he had a knife, I would notice and want to check it over and make sure it was good quality.
Okay. Well, this is a great quality knife.
Oh, wow, this is far better quality. How could you have afforded such a
Oh, when you say that, he's just like, what? You think I can't afford nice things?
Could you buy the flour then for us?
He's just like, does a knife make flour?
Thomas,
No.
Just because I could afford a knife at one point doesn't mean I can now.
Thomas, can we go back and return the knife, please?
Oh,
We don't want-
he looks super.
I will get.
He
I
is
have not,
ashamed and angry at the same time, in the
Thomas.
way
I
that
have
only a
knives.
teenage boy can be.
I have knives. If you want one of my knives,
No. We're not giving children knives.
Okay. Well, it's just a small kitchen knife for cutting herbs.
Why
and
does he need a knife?
Why
Well, if
don't I
he's
need a
going to-
knife?
if he's, I don't. I'm not teaching him how to fight with it.
You're
But if
not?
he wants tools for the kitchen, well, not now. Uh, as long as we are guests under Evelyn's roof, I will not be teaching you how to do anything with that knife that does not involve cooking or baking.
I mean, you can see the wheels turning in his head because your statement was so specific. You were like, under Evelyn's roof, and he's just like, all right, I'll return the knife. And you could see him like plotting some mischievous way to
I'm
get you
I
to teach him.
I will follow him, right, while Evelyn turns back to do the negotiation, and I will whisper in his ear, once the competition is over, anything you want to learn about knives or swords, I'll be happy to teach you, but we have to win the competition first, okay?
As he turns to pretend he's talking to you, he's like, uh-huh, and he does a backwards bump where he puts the knife back on the table he took it from.
Yep.
And he's just like, yes.
Yes. Once it's done, if you want your own sword, I'm sure we'll be able to buy you a
Oh,
sword.
I mean, when you start talking about swords, he's like, yeah, I could use a sword, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh no, I lost my knife. Oh, well, I guess we'd better go home.
Okay. Come on, let's get the flour and don't worry, I'll teach you what you would like to know when we win the competition now. You have to learn no stealing. We're feeding you. You don't have to live that life anymore. We will help you. Okay? You don't need to be troublesome. We can
When you say you don't need to be troublesome, I feel like it zooms out on his face and he's like, yes. All right,
Oh,
Evie. You're
Sometimes-
speaking with the
sometimes you're
flower
playing-
merchant.
Sometimes you're playing a role-playing game and you really just wish you had been in a location with the rest of your party when something happened.
Yeah, of
Part
course.
of that conversation.
I know.
will there be some dwarvish wisdom?
I mean, he already needs to craft a fine knife for the guards that he's never going to give them. You remember that oath?
I'll probably give it to Thomas.
Oh, come on.
And then we'll win and I'll have to teach him how to use it. Oh, gee.
All right, Evelyn. This is a OB1 resources test.
Okay.
Yeah, the price that this guy's name. I mean, you're buying a lot of flour. Indicated that you're buying a lot of it, and he's just like, no, this much. And you're like, maybe this much, and he's like, this much. You want to get help from anyone?
I'll help.
You
I have
want
a
to
resource
use?
die.
I think you have a cash die, Evelyn. I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to throw that towards this or if you want to save it.
I want to save it for now if she's
Okay.
gonna help.
All right. Excellent.
Sweet.
You have a 6 there. I don't know if you want to try re-rolling it using a fate point.
And how are you explaining that like adds to something? Adds to your
Yes. So when you re-roll a 6, it adds more successes to your resource. Well, to whatever test you're making.
okay.
And the 6 is open-ended. So if it rolls another 6, it'll keep re-rolling.
Sure, I'll try it.
All right.
I have enough fate.
Yes, you do have enough fate. You have 7 fate. You have more than enough fate to throw at everything. All right, you have 2 successes. Excellent. So mark down that your resources is 1 fate toward it, and you have a routine test, and you have 6 fate. Yeah, I feel like as the wheelbarrow begins returning towards the house,
Shovels? We needed shovels and picks.
I don't feel like you need to really test for that. That's something you guys can
Okay.
both easily afford now, to some
Okay.
extent.
Sure. Yeah.
I also feel like that stuff Evie probably has.
Oh, okay.
He's got
I
a
have
garden.
shovels.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wonderful.
As you're returning, you see in the distance that there's someone outside the house arguing with Rune, and then we zoom in on that conversation with Rune. Rune, it's your old nemesis, Dredge Ironpick. And he's there, and he's like, "Ah, Rune, I'm here to collect on your debt. Where's this gem? The ruby the size of a baby's fist. That's what you promised me. I've got the deep stone.
Ah, you've got the stone for me. All right, well,
It was hard. We had to work twice as hard as normal, which is like 7 times as hard as a human."
at least, yes.
So-
I mean, I've got some kids inside. Gonna start getting them digging, but I don't have much faith.
I heard your wife was in the area, but I didn't realize you're pumping them out that quick.
No, not my kids. I just found them. I guess humans just leave them lying around the streets to starve.
Oh, they're so dirty, humans.
But I figured throw them in the hole with some more dirt, move some dirt around.
Oh, you're gonna train him to be a dwarf?
Well, if they can't be a good human, maybe I can make them into a dwarf.
That's a novel approach. But that doesn't change the fact you owe me a gem.
All right. Let me go into get my.
You're gonna be like, let me get my purse.
I probably have like a satchel, a man purse, and I'm like digging around in there. So it's just a straight. Where is it?
It's a resources roll, obstacle 3.
Stats, attributes.
Can I help?
This can have been made before this moment. It can be a flashback to when you acquired it. If you want to have your friends help you out.
I'll help.
Me too. Moi aussi, as they say in French.
Oh, there it is. Resources.
I don't know if you
Okay,
have any persona you want to throw towards this. This is going to be a bad roll for you.
I don't have any.
It's like a 50-50 shot here.
Right? No, I only have fate. So I have to get 6s to spend fate.
Yep, and I would say you could throw greed in here, but you need a persona point to activate greed anyway.
All right. I mean, I already kind of did all the haggling and stuff with him, right? So
Yeah,
can
that's
I
how you
fork-
lowered it down to a
can
3.
I fork any of that in then, or no?
Nope, it's just ob 3.
Okay, here we go.
You have
Resources.
2 aiding dice. Better hope for a green, boy. Better hope for a green.
I hate it when it does this. I can't find the window with the. There it is. Pop
Rune
out.
isn't
Okay,
a soldier,
modifiers.
so
We
murder.
had-
I mean, he's
we
a
had-
dwarf.
We had 2 helpers.
Yep, 2 helping dice.
Okay, thank goodness. Modifiers 2, Martha 0, base obstacle. What was it? 4?
3.
3.
Would have been 4, but I think you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness,
Yay!
that's a really good success.
Good job.
Do you want to spend a fate, re-roll the 6, and try to get 2 successes over the obstacle? Does that let you flare the success? So if you flare, it's kind of like this is even better than what I said I was going to give you.
All right, yeah.
All right,
So I
so
can just
spend a
put-
fate point,
I
put a
just- I
fate.
just 1d6.
Yep, 1d6 with an exclamation to open end it.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay,
All right,
so
make sure to mark down you have one
Fate.
less fate. Put a fate next to resources. For the rest of you, that is going to be a challenging test toward resources. And for you, Rune, it is another routine. Actually, I think it's it's routine because you put
Mhm.
6 dice towards 3. Yeah, you bring out the gem and you can see him immediately go full greed mode on it. He as you bring it to him, he like snatches it out of your hands and he's like,
yeah, I'm like, maybe it's like
Yes.
it's in like a perfect, the beautifully carved like walnut box that I had carved for him.
yeah, he just drops the box on the ground.
Like I spent 15 minutes carving that.
Ugh. You're working with wood again? What are you, an elf?
look, it's easier to get. I go down into the market and I ask for a piece of marble.
We're
It's like,
dwarves. You think we do things the easy way? What are you, a human?
have you seen this marble? No veins in it, first of all. Crumbles in your hand.
Yeah,
It's like,
I have seen it.
these humans, how do they even keep a structure up with that stuff?
So he whistles, and two carts come out of the woods loaded with enough deep stone to make a oven.
Sweet.
And he's watching as your wife knocks down the 3 walls of the laundry room, and starts like setting out digging equipment. And he's like, "Oh, were you making addition? Are you underbowing this here house?"
Well, yeah, it's gonna be kind of like a main office and like worker stationed area, and probably build the oven here.
Well, you
Possibly
know, I happen
storing
to
it
be
in
a
the
miner
underground
with a
vault.
mining crew in Look of Work.
Oh, really?
And he immediately gets that glit in his eyes. He's like, maybe we can negotiate about pricing options.
Well, I'd love to get all this work done as quick as possible.
Oh, as quick as possible, what I like to hear.
So he has like a few men with him.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're like, we need to start digging, he'll immediately jump into it as long
Excellent.
as you pay him.
Excellent. Okay. So I like start digging around, and I'm like, I've got coin from the homeland still. I don't spend that around here, so I know you'll like that. It's the gold's pure as it can be. One of these alloys. So I like pull out some like very fancy coinage with like the engraven image of a beautiful dwarf woman, that probably no human would be able to distinguish from a dwarven man.
Dwarven man. Excellent.
Uh,
I think Anya and Evie probably have reached the top of the hill as this is going on.
yeah, I'm like pointing to where the guys can start digging.
Do you
What's
want to
this?
haggle
What's in
against
your
this
chest?
guy to get a better
Yeah,
price?
yeah. I'm like, look, I've got, I've got two, two workers here. Well, human workers, so about a half a dwarf, maybe.
I
They're
would
young, so
say
they're not. They're
2/5
young.
of a dwarf.
They're spry.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
try to upsell them.
all right, all right.
They're
But
wee
they're,
babes.
they're gonna be helping you, so that'll make it go a wee bit
But would
easier.
they
So
be helping me? I really feel like this is on the job internship training. I'm really teaching them life skills.
I mean, they're just gonna move the dirt.
Yeah, have you seen humans? They're always trying to lift with their knees. You should lift with your back.
I know.
That's why God gave us a reinforced spinal column.
It's like their knees are not gonna last them for 100 years, even. Oh well, I guess they're dead by
Ugh.
then, right?
Ugh.
All right, fine.
He seems kind of apologetic about insulting humans in front of them. He's like, "Oh, sorry. It's just guy talk back in Dwarfland. We don't mean anything offensive by it."
Well, that's good because it sounded a little bit offensive.
Oh no, it's just locker room talk.
Do you know they only have 10 digits? How can you do math with only 10 digits?
He looks at it. His hands, which only have 10 fingers, and he's like, do you have more than 10?
Look, they don't even use imaginary numbers.
Oh, that's true. They don't know about negative I.
Negative I mean, it's the only way. If you're trying to use our ratios properly, you're just gonna. It's no wonder. Just look at that house over there. There's probably like a perfectly fine looking house. Oh, oh,
It's made out of wood.
oh.
He looks at you weird, like, aren't you a carpenter?
I'm like, yeah, yeah, but look at it's like they piled up some logs and painted them. Like
I mean, he
perfectly nice
completely
house.
agrees. He's just confused. He thought you were
Like,
into that kind of thing.
I'm like, well, look at the difference of my box and this what they call a home. I'm gonna turn this place right into a dwarven kingdom. I tell you what.
My house?
You're like walking up. I'm like coming over my like.
All right,
I'm like, oh, it's just dwarf talk. I'm just letting them know how it's gonna look.
let's haggle. He's got 5 dice to throw towards this. Oh
but I
my
like
god.
the way it looks.
You want to stand up for yourself here, Evie?
No, I'm just
Okay.
muttering to myself.
It's just like,
Dude,
I'm not gonna stand up for myself. That's crazy.
did you want me to interject? I mean, I won't do anything rash, of course, but I do have some etiquette, and perhaps I could. I mean, your house is lovely.
Oh,
I mean,
etiquette is mostly to talk to like nobility.
oh, okay.
This guy's a
They're
street.
just a bunch of stunties. So who
He's a
cares?
minor. Oh, he's a stunty now. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I
I'll
don't
just
know that you
say-
have anything you can help with.
Okay, then I will just tap a few fingers up my waist, close to where the fighting knife is. But I'm just gonna ignore it all and. Come on, Thomas. Let's unload this flour. Let's go to the kitchen and make sure they haven't destroyed it yet.
All right. Rune, you are haggling over mining work to help expand a house. Do you have anything you want to fork?
Here, it's gonna be easy work. I've got full plans. They know exactly where to dig. Can I fork reputation?
No, but you can definitely fork engineering.
Engineering. Okay.
I mean, you did just mention having plans.
that was my other thing.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to fork. I mean, appraisal's pretty much an easy fork.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'll be like, I know the job was normally this much, but I think at this point a little less is more fair.
I think you can also fork artificer-wise if you wanted to.
Okay, so that's 3.
Okay.
Let's do that thing again.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna fate that for sure. Oh!
What? 4 successes. I have
Wow.
4.
Yep.
That's what I mean.
Oh my goodness. That's 6 into a 6 into a 6. Oh boy. Do you have any 6s?
No 6s.
Nope. Okay. So the difficulty jumps from difficulty 3 to difficulty 4. An ob 4 to secure his services now. He is just like, the things you're telling me that you need. I mean, yeah, you say we got to do it quickly. We got to teach humans. Just, oh.
Like
And he looks at the pile of coins that you're trying to show him, and he's like, it's going to be about 10 times that, mate.
Like, oh, come on, you're charging me like I'm human. Oh,
No, if I was charging you like
So
a
is
human,
this-
you'd be paying 100 times that.
so is this gonna like cost my resources then?
Your
to get it,
resources is going to be 4 now, difficulty 4. You're looking at it. You look like you're about to cry. You're like, that's so difficult.
Yeah. All right.
And he puts his foot down in
So I
front of
need a
you. He's like,
perfect-
pay
I need
up
a
front.
perfect resources roll.
You can get help from your friends
Uh,
if you want.
yeah. Well, I just turned to Evie. I'm like, look, can you throw anything in? If we get these dwarves helping, your whole place will be put back together mighty quicker than if it's just the boys and me.
I'll help.
Excellent. Resources. Modifiers.
You're
1.
just asking Evie for help?
Well, I think that didn't Anya leave?
I'm
No.
just unloading flour in the kitchen.
Oh no, so you're walking in and out.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you're like coming out to like grab another sack of flour, like, hey, need a little help here. You didn't spend everything down at the market on
Oh,
shoveling
I've
wood
actually
or-
met an old friend and made quite a good deal. Don't have to pay for a bunch of stuff until after we win the competition, and if we don't win, well, we may not even have to pay. It's kind of like a good gambling option. We win either way. He may not, but
Oh no,
yeah.
he's gonna get paid one way.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you didn't have to pay much for this shoddy made wheelbarrow.
Well, it's the best.
yeah, you just insult the finest king's grade wheelbarrow.
It's the best we could get on such short notice. We don't want to tax your time because you have an oven to build, and we can't have you wasting it building silly things like that. So it'll hold up for as long as we need, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll help. Absolutely.
I like look at the wheelbarrows they're talking about. I'm like, this is the best wheelbarrow I've ever seen, though.
Is that the cat? Is that a
Yes.
cat like meowing?
Yeah, I pushed him off my lap.
Oh, what a dumb cat.
R2, Arthur 0. Base obstacle 4.
Or better pray to your new god, man. Oh my goodness.
Look at all these terrible rolls.
I have some very bad news for you,
5.
Anya. Your
Uh-oh.
resources drops back to 0.
Oh well.
Everyone's resources is temporarily lowered by 1. The issue with Anya is once you hit rock bottom, that's permanent.
Mm.
So do I
You don't get you are gonna get what you want. I'm using what's called the GM's gift of kindness, but you also get taxed and your resources drops to 3 temporarily.
do I do anything other than normal? Is there like a box to tick for?
No. Nope.
Okay, I'll just change it manually. Okay, resources is now 3. But I get my digging dwarves?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the gift of kindness because it seems like this is real important to you guys, and you've been making a lot of resources stats very quickly to get to this.
So that is a failed routine.
So in order to advance on resources, you have to succeed on it.
Oh, okay.
You don't get anything. I know it super sucks. Resources circles.
Takes
no, I'm
money
sorry.
away from me,
Circles. I
Arthur.
think you get it's resources, fate, and something else. They only succeed on a success. Okay, so the dwarves immediately get started digging, but you guys are like all emptying your pockets and signing away life debts, and it's real bad. You're all super poor now, but they are gonna make this fantastic under addition to Evie's house. It's gonna make it even more valuable once they get done throwing all the dirt around.
Yeah, it's an investment.
And you also signed away Thomas and Sarah's time, so they're now both completely committed to the Undercroft project.
Well, they're probably excited about it. They're going to have a room.
Yeah, I mean, in a couple weeks, sure. So what now?
Oh. Someone has to build an oven so that we can start preparing recipes. And then we can go for competition, and then we can win, and then I can actually get a resource die again.
you just,
Yay!
you
All
just-
these this work.
life gets you real quick.
Well, you know what? If worse comes to worse, I'll just give Thomas a knife, and he and I will go and carve out our fortune. It's fine.
Wow, that's super disturbing. Okay,
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine. We don't have to worry. No.
Okay. So what's the plan now, team?
All right. Yeah, well, we need to start building an oven because that takes a few days.
Yeah. Yep.
And also, I turn to my compatriots once we've kind of we all help unload the rest of the flour, so that the wheelbarrow can be used for dirt moving. And then I turn to them and I say, "Well, we still need a name for the bakery. I've been thinking about it while you're in town. We need something really, homey and warm and like inviting. I was thinking about like dank and dark bakery. That sounds, comforting and nice.
What was the name?
Dank and dark bakery.
Bank and Dark?
Dank and
Dank.
dark.
Oh, well.
It's making a dwarven joke.
Well, that sounds pretty dark, I suppose.
Good for dwarves, maybe not so good for the humans who live in this city where we're going to compete.
Not a fan
I know
of
that.
not a fan of alliteration, or
Uh, we have to market to the audience. And the audience are a bunch of humans who like to live above the ground in the sunshine and stuff their faces with food and be lazy. So yes, isn't that what your friend
So
your friend who's helping us would say? I'm sure.
okay, humans are like, let's see, what do they like?
So
They're tall. Let's see. Maybe something like "You'll be dead soon. Have a nice pie." Oh, I
How
don't know.
about no? That's people don't want to think about their death.
Well, if I was gonna die that quickly, I'd be just stuffing my face with pies all day.
Mm. That kind of sounds like we're going to kill them, though. We don't want to scare them away. Try to think of something friendly and kind and not terrifying.
Let's see. Maybe like Burnt Fingers Bakery.
No. You're still going to terrifying. Just reel back a little bit here. Do the opposite of what you would normally name something.
The opposite of what I would name it.
Yeah.
I'll never call it something like Flower Power, spelled with a U. That'd be stupid.
ooh, flour power. Well, if we're going to be using a lot of dough,
Oh no, did I seriously just name our bakery Flower Power?
well, I have other ideas, but I don't know. I think that
I mean,
I
it's
think
definitely better than the other ones you came up with.
Look, let's review other ideas before we make any signs made, okay?
All right. I just look at him to continue with his ideas.
Way worse ones start coming out. I'm like,
No. Oh, okay.
yeah. I'm like
Uh,
crunchy centipedes in a biscuit.
No. Remember, opposite of what you would
Hu-
normally
Humans
name
don't
something.
eat centipedes.
No.
They're telling me. Must be harder to get above ground. That's why it makes sense.
yes, yeah, but they hide under rocks. We don't eat them because they're hard to find. Yes.
Anya, do you have an idea of what to name it?
Well, we're building. Well, are we using deep stone to build this?
Oh yeah.
Wonderful
Yep.
oven.
Yeah, we got a
So-
pile of it outside.
So why don't we call it the deep stone bakery or deep stone fine foods? Or if we could, why not play up the wonderful oven that you're trying to bake, and that could be part of the name. It is
That
deep
is a good
stone,
idea.
and that is rare. And if we're going to have the best entry, which would be rare,
Right, and the humans, they do like the flowery language, maybe like cuisine or something.
Deep stone cuisine.
Oh, that's pretty good. All right, I like it.
It's
I put
definitely better than you're gonna die soon.
I put it at the top of the list.
So when you say that, Issa walks behind you and is like, "That's a good name for your bakery. You're gonna die soon."
That's what I said. It was one of my first ideas. They
Oh
shut it
yeah,
down.
I mean you're marketing to humans, right?
Right. They'd be scared right away. Better get some good pie before I'm dead.
Oh yeah, makes
No.
sense to me.
Humans don't work that way.
You
No,
say that, she just laughs.
they don't work that way. They don't want to think about their death. That might be part of the problem, but no, we want to be happy. We want to live in the sunshine in the now, and as strange as that might seem to you,
No, I'm
I
sure that's
think,
important when you only live 50 or 60 years.
yeah. So I think deep stone cuisine. I'm really enjoying that name, deep stone cuisine.
All right.
It's really quite tragic if a 50 or 60-year-old dwarf dies, but it's kind of weird that it's just humans all the time, normal for you.
We just age so fast. We wear out, but we make the best of it while we can, and we have a great time doing it.
Yeah, it's like a shoddy pair of boots.
It just cracks up. She's like, "Oh, I love you, Fred. Your sense of humor."
Oh, I love you too, my dear.
All right. So Your oven is going to be obstacle 3 engineering test.
All right.
It's going to take you 1 week to create. Typical forks for engineering include architect, mason, carpenter.
Okay, carpenter, artificer. Gonna definitely go in.
Quiz. Let's talk about failures. I think that if you fail on this test, you will not be aware of it until you start using the oven, but it'll be way too hot. Like, when you go to put things in, they'll come out as, like, crispy bricks.
But I can just quit and then open a smeltery.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be able to reforge it.
We can just start making like the finest chef's knives. Okay, so I'm
Thomas
forking-
would like that.
forking-
Oh, well, you do have to make somebody a fancy dagger anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm forking 2 things into this.
Okay.
No, I have no Artha. It's the obstacle 3.
You want to ask for help from anybody? There's no
I failed.
6s in there, bud.
There's no 6s. I'm rolling
Yeah.
so bad today. Look at all these rolls with no 6s. That is, hold on, 7 plus 6 plus 5 with no 6s.
So, it's been 2 weeks since the competition was announced. There are only 2 weeks left. There's already been several declarations that Massimo Manucci is the top-rated to beat chef. That even the chefs of iron who are competing in this cooking competition are going all out and developing entirely new dishes, bread-based dishes, just for the Viscount Edwin of the House of Murph. And that's when we come in to Rune putting the last finishing touch on the deep stone oven that is the centerpiece of your entire marketplace. And even better news, Evie, they've excavated out and furnished 1 level of your new underhouse. Thomas, Anya, Sarah all have rooms. Issa's adding another level herself as like her own second basement. She's offered to buy the land under your house from you.
But I like my house here.
Oh, okay. We'll come into that. She's like, "Oh, no, your house is fine. I want to leave it exactly as it is. You know, you humans should enjoy the surface as much as you want to, because, you know, you like the sky for some reason. What I want to do is buy everything underneath the basement.
Why?
Well, mineral rights and that kind of thing, but also I just, you know, I want to be close to my husband.
But you're already staying here.
Yeah, but I want to customize my own room.
But I already let you.
Oh, all right. If you don't want me, fine. That's fine. Fine. You can see it's clearly not fine. So, essentially what's happened is they've dug out the dirt and some stone and then laid in new fitted stonework, like fine dwarven mastercraft halls. They're all like 8 feet tall. There's lots of archways. There's ornate, I think they're called friezes of dwarves. Some of them are holding forth objects like a band with spikes on it. On the band of spikes, there's images of elephants. Actually, there's a lot of elephant imagery in your new underhouse now. The floors have carved images of elephants rampaging. There's one of an exploding volcano, but the lava's hitting elephants. It's all very strange.
What? Anya would definitely ask, what weird beast is elephant? What?
Oh, yeah. The
That
architect.
can't be real. It
Dredge
looks
Iron Pick is just like, oh yeah, this is a dwarven settlement about 300 years ago. It's called Boat Murdered. There were plenty of elephants. They rampaged outside the gates. The only way to control them was to use the very bowels of the earth against them, spraying lava in every direction.
That's absolutely terrifying.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it was very terrifying. We barely saved our skins with a volcano tactic.
We had to create screws out of obsidian in order to pump the lava up at such high pressure to spray the elephants.
Talk
Oh,
about
my
it.
grandfather was so proud when he invented that mechanism. Unfortunately, the entire settlement collapsed, killing everyone inside, burying them in lava. It was very sad, very sad. We remember their tales, though. Look, and he's like leading you by and explaining each thing. He's like, this is the band Sidophanes. You see, the creator, his wife, had been eaten by an elephant. So he became obsessed with elephants. And when he made this spike bracelet, he put an elephant on it. He carved it into the leather.
That's nice.
And so we made a depiction of him making the band. Because we're
Oh.
dwarves, and that's a thing we do to honor him. And look, here, this is the Mad Elephant One Tusk. You can see here, he's only got one tusk.
Are there any pictures that aren't terrifying?
He's just like, what? Of course not. You need terrifying pictures in order to show you how much honor you have.
Okay.
So they reveal to you the frieze that's in Anya's room, which is like, they've heard tales of the Red Falcons, and there's like Anya cutting a guy's head off with a sword. And on the other side is like Evie chopping vegetables, but they've somehow made her look really intense while she's doing it, like, ah! And he's like, I thought that this would really bring the room together. I wasn't sure how to honor your human ancestors, so I just decided to just do the two of you.
I like look between the pictures. I'm like, that one looks really bloody.
Oh yeah, no,
my.
we rubbed redstone in there to give the blood impression.
Can I just faint?
Yes.
I'll catch her and make sure she doesn't hit her head.
You know.
That's how good the dwarven work
Yeah,
is.
I know.
isn't it?
He's literally like,
Yeah.
I've never been so honored to have someone faint from excitement over seeing it. He's got like a tear in his eye. He's like, I've never
Like-
thought I'd do so good that a human would be excited to see my works. Rune, you
Oh.
didn't tell me they were so soft-hearted.
I think some of them are terrible, worthless clods after all, after spending a little time up here.
Issa chimes in in Dwarven, just agreeing with you. Mostly by insulting humans in the process.
I think we humans are so impressed. We just need some time to quietly stare in awe at all of this. If you
Oh no, that's what we do in our free time. We find
Yes.
great works of art and then we stare at them in awe until we get inspiration.
Well, yeah. So we'll just enjoy the work in the room, and I'll kind of see if I can put Evie. There's a bed. They furnished it.
The bed is made entirely out of stone. There's
Stone,
no
yes.
blankets or
Beautiful stone
pillows
bed.
on it.
Well, I'll just kind of try to make her comfortable as best as I can. I'll take off my jacket if I have to, put it under her head, and just say, we'll just take some quiet time to stare at the walls in reverence of such fine work. Yes, and thank you, and then close the probably heavy stone door.
Yep, it's a heavy stone door.
Yeah.
Use that, use that baker forearm power, and just kind of sit on the floor and probably in horror, maybe wipe a tear and try not to be too choked up and just shake my head as like I have never cut anyone's head off in my life. What? Oh God! And then just kind of look after Evelyn until she wakes up, and once she does, just whisper her, "Don't worry. Once we win the competition, we can get some sane people to come in and just kind of chisel and sand all this smooth and make
Look,
it look
I
paint it a nice,
may-
pretty color."
I may have exaggerated when talking about you to them a little.
Yes.
If they ask if you're the leader of the mercenaries, just say yes.
Oh. Okay. It certainly isn't getting them to respect us as humans and speak better about us, but okay.
Are you joking? I've never seen dwarves so impressed with humans in my life. They're singing glowing praise about.
Well, should we
Did you
Maybe
hear
we
what
should-
I said earlier? I said you weren't worthless clods.
Thank you.
Yes, you're
Yes.
welcome.
So
Thank
Evie,
you.
as you awake, Evie, you smell a familiar smell that you have not smelled in a long time. It's the smell of burning bread. Someone is burning the shit out of your kitchen.
I just run straight up there and
Okay.
yell, "The bread is burning!"
I grab my jacket and I follow.
Thomas and Sarah are standing before the new deep stone oven. And they're like pulling the baking pan out. It's like a wooden pizza pan, right? It's like smoking, and there's a block of like cinderish ash on it. And Sarah's like breaking out crying. Thomas is like, I don't know what's wrong. I put it in for the same amount of time and it's just too hot.
I'm like, it's dwarven fire. You know, you've got it. It's probably tempering itself right now.
There's little pieces of ember in the bread.
I'm like scraping that off the bottom. I'm like scraping the bread, right? As if you had like a piece of toast that was like lightly burned.
Yeah.
I'm just scraping like black.
It's breaking
stuff
up into
charcoal,
ash.
like in the kitchen, just like we'll get down to the good part of the bread anytime now. It's just a little bit burned on the outside.
Thomas is
Oh,
like
yes.
shell shocked. Sarah is horrified. The kitchen is rapidly heating up as the oven
Stop. Everybody, just stop. That is not bread. That is a travesty. That is a crime.
I
There's
like break
no-
open the bread and finally find like in the center there's like a little like lump that's soft. I like pull it out and like eat it. Like it's perfectly fine. Don't know what you're talking about. It's good bread.
No, it's not.
No.
It's
No.
horrible when you eat. It
probably
is
wouldn't
like
know.
eating ash.
I mean,
What?
that's probably fine. I mean, we just eat like
No, it's bad.
mushrooms and dirt.
It's
No.
it tastes horrible to you.
I
Okay.
look for water.
It
We
would
need
have to be
water. We
very
need to
strong.
put this out. We need to stop. We need to figure out why is this too hot? What went wrong? What?
Look, it's fine. You know when you like have like you're really ill and they make you eat like charcoal because you had the wrong mushrooms. I mean, it's kind of tastes like that, but underneath there's kind of a little.
Human nobles don't want to eat charcoal because they ate the wrong mushrooms. They want to eat the right mushrooms, probably accompanied by the best bread underneath. They want it. Humans are picky, and the wealthier they are, and the higher their standing in society, the pickier they get. They are not going to want to eat charcoal to cure their tummies. Maybe the day after their feasting, but Rune, I know you've tried and you've done so much to get this stone here. Maybe we just need to put out the fire because it is getting very hot here. This is a little uncontrolled, and I'm used to the hottest of kitchens, but I think we need to just
I
kind of
mean,
go over and check it. And
it's lightly warm in here. I guess we could open the window. I
no,
think you guys are like starting to sweat, but I like me and my wife show like no signs of noticing any heat. And I'm like, look, I know exactly what's wrong here.
Okay, what's wrong? Tell us. So, look, how can we fix it?
One of these human chefs has come in here and sabotaged my work. I knew this would happen. I knew
We're
it.
the only two human chefs.
No,
You
one
mean
of
from the
yours.
city? Are you
That-
saying Marucci?
He's got
Whatever
must
it
have
is, you
send
think-
someone down here to.
Are you saying someone broke into my house?
I think so. I don't know what else could have happened. And I had a feeling the whole time. I can't trust these human chefs. They'll backstab me. They'll do something to make sure that a dwarf doesn't stand tall above them on their pedestal of greatness.
Wait. You're saying someone broke into my house?
Yes,
What if they're still here?
Still here. I draw a knife, and I'm gonna go and do a room.
No, you don't need your knife. We can just ask them nicely
Thomas
to leave.
immediately snatches a knife as well and
No,
goes
no.
back to back with Anya.
If they are daring enough, if they are evil and foul enough to sabotage our oven, if they won't face us honorably, we don't know if we find them in here. that they could hurt us. I promise not to stab anyone, but it's good to put on a strong image to chase them out rather than just ask. They won't leave kindly.
We could just ask them nicely first.
Well,
Thomas's voice is like cracking, and his hand is shaking as he's standing back to back with Anya with the knife. He's just like, if there's anyone here who's not supposed to be here, you should leave right now, and don't mess with the oven.
Probably some
Okay.
sneaky little rogue that Minucci hired to come down here. I'm sure they're not brave enough to step up.
fine.
They've run off by now.
I have an idea. Thomas, stay with that knife, stand guard. I put mine away. I will not threaten anyone, but I'm going to go and take a look around. So I go and take a look around.
Virgil, I have a question for you.
Yeah?
Obviously, no one's messed with the oven.
Yeah, I know, but I have a belief.
Unless you can make it true if you want to summon a character to have done this. If you want to circle somebody up who sabotaged your oven.
Yeah, and then they're in the house. That's great. Yeah, it's Minucci's helper, like
All right,
Or-
let's walk down the list. Let me go get it because it's gonna be, it's gonna be a role you're probably not gonna make very
yeah,
well. So we'll
that's
see.
fine. Where's my circle 3?
All right. You can only circle up dwarves. So, what occupation? What are you looking for here? What role does this dwarf perform?
Oh, I can only look for dwarves?
Yes, you
Okay,
can
so-
only look for dwarves because they're the only ones who share life paths with you.
Oh, right. Okay. Then this would probably be he's probably a crafter of like fine silverware.
Okay.
Initially, but he like works with Minucci and his staff.
So would you say he's somewhat equivalent to you as like a journeyman crafter who's out on his own
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he the same social rank, class, or station as you, or is he higher or lower than you in
I
Dwarven
think
society?
he's considered just about the same, and I probably.
Oh, so he's like the
talked
best
about
silverware crafter in the entire world.
Yeah, and like that. Yeah, and that's why he was like, he runs around with this crowd of like epic chefs so he can eat good food, and then is like
Sell the silverware.
right, with like
Oh
a
man, I'm getting a
Minucci-
Tony Stark Iron Man kind of feel from him. He's just like, woo, party all day. And then when people go to eat, he's just like, are you sure you don't want these? And like the light shines down on the silverware and everyone's like, let's talk about what he knows. Does he need to know anything specific or unusual for his job?
Let's see what he knows. He probably knows more about like the city and like
Okay, so that's going to be obstacle 2 now. And you're summoning him up right here and now in the middle of trouble.
yeah, he was
right.
He's hiding
It's now obstacle 5.
okay, so I can do it if I get some 6s.
6s.
I
Yep.
don't care.
Luck.
And I can't fork on circles, right?
No. If you had a reputation or an affiliation, you could, but you don't have either.
You said it was obstacle 5?
Yep. You succeed at this. I'm gonna. Wow. Okay. You got 2
Still no
successes, but
still
no
no
6s.
6s.
Nope. All right. When we get back, okay. So let me tell you what happens, Anya. You're moving throughout the house looking for someone, right? And what happens is the door to Evie's room bursts open, and there's a masked dwarf who's wearing a mask over their beard. So it's like, it's like someone does one of those like stalking face
mask?
masks. Yeah. And it covers all the way down to his beard, and he's brandishing this incredible looking silver knife. Like it looks like a silver curved knife, and he just sees you and he's like, ah, and he starts running at you, and that's when we run right straight towards the break screen.
Woohoo!
We'll be back in about 7 minutes as a rampaging dwarf who probably sabotaged this oven is apparently engaging.
Oh.
Fantastic. It
I-
seems like I should probably look up the weapon damage rules.
I think I love this game.
we'll be back, and then you'll remember who is in charge.